Well, good morning, great morning, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. And I also want to add a quick note to what John had said about what an honor and privilege it was to represent this sacred space at the parade yesterday. And to see people, you know, they were cheering, and then you could see they read the shirt, and then they would look at you. Like, this is a church, or this is some kind of spiritual center? You guys are marching and all happy, and it was good. And for me, there was a person when we first got there that said, free hugs. So I just walked up towards him like this, and he hugged me. But on the parade route, while we were marching, I got out of formation. Should have done like Beyonce, right? Formation. Because there was a man that said dad hugs. And I never received a hug from my dad. And so I just went right up to him. And so it was very good, but to see people knowing that there is a space here where we love you. And that's what I started saying, we love you, come see us on Sunday. It was such an honor. And, you know, it's one thing for a minister to talk about that talk, but John puts it into action and then puts it through the ministry. So it was very, 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 very fun. Hot, but it was very fun. All right, let's just... So our September theme has been the value of the valley. And so today my talk title is Celebration in the Valley. And my text today comes from the sacred text of Kool and the Gang. Celebrate good times, come on. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on, and let's celebrate. I love our affirmation. I'm taking time to learn the value of the valley. And I thought, well, listen to our talk titles. John, value of the valley. Challenge, God's invitation to grow. You know, if we can make it there, we can make it anywhere. And last week, preparing for abundance in the valley. And I was giggling to myself because I thought, when does someone say you need to see the value? I will say, I'm not in my 70s yet, but I will be there. But in the 56 years that I have been alive, no one has ever said, now, Dilla, you sit down, and I'm going to talk to you about the value of having a spa day, or the value of getting some ice cream, or the value of having fun in your life. Because we don't need to talk on that. On the things that we enjoy, we already know the value. Reminds me of this video I saw, this little baby, right in 11 months or 1 year old, and he's in his little high chair, and his family gives him a couple pieces of bacon, and they're all filming it. And you know, he bites it. I mean, like literally, you could see the joy of the bacon just coursing through his veins, and a little bit of drool comes out his mouth. And he goes, hey, Dad. And they say, bacon. He says, bye, Don. And they say, bacon. And he goes, bacon! It was like, yes. He had seen the value of the bacon. You know, all those things we enjoy. Okay, I'm ringing, so I'm going to turn this off. Oh. Yes, John, I'll keep it up. And that the valley has its moments. And that's what we've been talking about. I'm talking about the value. But one of the things that we can do in the valley is celebrate. And so I'm going to begin the celebration by wishing you all a happy new year. And you're thinking, is she confused? I could be. As some of you saw on Facebook, I had a lot of fun this week in the minimal sleep. But I'm not confused. At sundown tonight begins the celebration of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. And so I wish you all a Shana Tova, that today, next week, any day can be the beginning of the new year. And to remember that in the midst of the valley, we can still celebrate. If you go back to your Sunday school lessons, if you grew up in a traditional church, you know the Israelites were in the valley for a long time, but they just couldn't get it together. But even in the midst of the valley, there are those invitations to celebrate. The festivals of the trumpets, which we're celebrating today. And when they found the scrolls again in the temple, they say, go celebrate this new time, that in the midst of whatever family you're focusing on today. Whatever I wish I had been better, we have in our minds. Even in the midst of that, we can still celebrate. Because when it comes to the life divine, yes, we have challenges and areas of growth, and I say stuff happens because I'm in church, so I don't use the word I want to say, but stuff happens. And then we have a choice as we are growing and evolving and developing and expanding, and sometimes slipping and falling, and sometimes moving backwards. We can do that with an attitude of gratitude, with an attitude of having that bigger vision, or you can be a grumpy pants about it. I mean, it's just, that's how it is. You know, even diamonds, that beautiful diamond, or a ruby, or an emerald, or crystals, those things are made under pressure. When you see them before that, they, you know, like coal. It looks like just some junk. But after that pressure, and that binding, and that heat, out comes this thing that people want to pay tons and tons of money for. It's that process. Last Wednesday, we had words and wine and words. And I was so inspired. I listened to men and women share some hard words, some diagnosis, words that would make most people cry or run and get scared or just be immobilized. And they shared this with a veracity and honesty, a vulnerability that just really touched my heart. And yes, the doctor is in charge of the diagnosis. This is a line I'm stealing from Michael Beckwith, I will say that. But he said, we have the prognosis. We have the prognosis. We can forecast the likely outcome of the situation. And the prognosis that rang in my ears that night was, I am living my best life. In the midst of a diagnosis that says this person should have been dead last century or last decades, people, I'm living my best life. And that's what we celebrate in the midst of learning. You know, we were at the parade yesterday and we were moving, and I go marching up. I'm like, we're going to get this under control. And I see these people aren't moving, and I'm getting ready to move. I'm like, y'all going to get ready to see some California Bill of Willis up in here. But then there was a butterfly. I mean, a dragonfly. And my oracle card that day had been about the dragonfly, which is about releasing old habits and not walking in the ways that you used to be. So I was like, I will just stand here and send the Bible, please move forward, please move forward. And I just had to walk back. And I thought, okay, I can celebrate that. I wasn't like, what are you doing? You know, we're all trying our best, but if we can take a look at the diagnosis, you're struggling, I'm having lack, my relationships aren't working, and make the prognosis that in the midst of this, I am living my best life. I mean, Gail and I were out dancing, and I try to do everything natural, but I'll let you know, I took that lead before we left the house. I had it with me. When I got in that house, I'm living my best life, creaky knees and all. I'm living my best life, business is failing. It's okay. Because in the end, the prognosis is ours. I am creating and recreating and reinventing and living our best lives. And so today we're going to have Rosh Hashanah celebration. I know it's not the first or third Sunday, but in the back we have some challah and some apples with honey, because this is a time to celebrate, to wish you a sweet and joyous new year. And so we'll have some challah in the back and the honey, so apples and honey, all a part of that. That today is the day to celebrate. Tomorrow is the day to celebrate. That in the valley, we again can show what it's like to fail well and to do well with that celebration. So I end today by wishing you a Shana Tova, Kong Hai Fat Choi, which is Happy New Year for the Chinese New Year. Or Ade Shoma Mobarak, which is Happy New Year for the Persian New Year. I wish you the best, sweetness, love, and joy this day and every day, and so it is. So it is.